To navigate to the Myto calculator, click Finances and then the Myto calculator tile. When you click the Calculate button, it automatically imports all the trust assets, income, government benefits, and expenses that you've previously added into your portal. You can name this simulation. The beneficiary's current age is already input for you. You can change the asset management fee by clicking Edit and typing in the fee in percent. Same with the portfolio risk weighting. To change the percent in stocks, click Edit and change in the percent if needing to adjust. Desired life of the fund is where you can adjust if there is an anticipated shorter lifespan. The default is set to last until the individual is 100 years old. If your loved one has a disease or disability where the average lifespan is, say, 60, you may want to add on 5 or 10 years to account for your child living longer than the average, so build in some cushion. We want to make sure your loved one doesn't run out of money during their lifetime. Next, if you plan to employ Hope Trust concierge services for your loved one during their lifetime, these are the services that include case management, care coordination, processing the arrangements of the requests, not just monetary distributions. You can slide the scale to no concierge services or in between. Low would be where they may just need an hour a month, medium would be approximately an hour a week, and high would be 2 hours a week. Then click Run. You will then get the projection. You can opt to run the simulation again by clicking the button, and your results may be slightly different. Keep in mind the analysis runs thousands of scenarios with statistical probabilities each time. You can opt to set the scenario as the default by clicking the button. This will input the information into the snapshot that appears in the Trust Objectives square on the dashboard. Finally, click the Close button to return to the list of simulations. The simulation you just ran will be in the list. The Create Simulation button allows you to play with the inputs to the analysis so you can see the impact of different variables. Click the Create Simulation button. If you so choose, you can click the Import Current Assets button to pull in all the trust assets listed under Assets. If you want to see what happens if, say, an asset's value greatly increases or decreases, or any detailed changes, click the Edit button, make the change, and click Update Record. This will change that asset for this simulation only. It will not change it as it is listed on the Current Assets page. You may want to see the impact of not using one, some, or all of the assets as part of your funding plan. You can remove assets from the simulation by clicking the Delete button. Again, this will remove it from the simulation, but not from the list of the assets page. You can also add an asset to this simulation by clicking the Add Asset button, completing the form, and clicking the Create Record button. This will add it into the simulation, but not to the list of current assets. Once the asset for the simulations are set as desired, click the Next button. This takes you to the income sources and government benefits for this simulation. You can import each of these by clicking their respective buttons, and once imported, you can edit or delete any of these. You can also add income sources, whether it is to see the impact of, say, rental income or having a different amount of new government benefits. Our analysis always run the analysis with or without government benefits, but if you want to see if only half of the government benefits are available, or if they run out, or your loved one doesn't qualify for them for a period of time, or at a certain age over their lifetime, you can input that here to see the impact. Click Next to advance to the budget. Just as before, you can import the current expenses, edit or delete or add any of this just for this simulation. This is where you may change expenses to compare the cost of your loved one living at home with a family member their entire lifetime versus perhaps living in a residential facility for some or all of their lifetime. Again, there are an unlimited number of variables and scenarios that can be simulated to get an understanding of the financial impact and need. Click Next. Complete this page, making sure you name it appropriately so you know what simulation it is. Make any updates to the part of this page if needed and click Run. Again, just like previously, you can opt to run again, set this as a default for the Trust Objective snapshot, and close to get to the list of simulations page. You will see the simulations listed on the page. Go to Actions next to a given simulation. There is a drop down that, depending on your permissions, will allow you to delete the simulation and click Cancel if you change your mind, or click Delete in the pop-up to confirm deleting. This will remove it from the simulation list. Going back to the Actions dropdown, when you choose Load, it loads into the calculator, which you can then otherwise manipulate different variables within that scenario without having to start over and reload everything you used in that scenario. The default button in the Actions dropdown of the simulation will set the simulation's information as a default for the Trust Objective snapshot. Finally, if you go to Actions and click the View button, you will see that simulation summary. The buttons that are present will be dependent on your permissions.